morning, everybody. I am Shan Ferdinand. Y'all are here with us, Black Lion Live. I got none other than Mr. Black Lion himself, Leon Noir, here as a special guest. We got Carrie Ferdinand.
Hey, you.
Terry in the back.
Hey.
And Royce on the ones and twos.
We're gone.
We are here to talk real estate, Hampton Roads, and everything in between. So let's get into it.
Right. So first and foremost, if y'all watching this, the reason why I'm laughing as we started up, right? There was a few hiccups before we started, and Royce, the engineer, gave this long sigh. I ain't gonna lie, before we got started.
I was like, I think I lost my A or something. I was like, everything was messing up.
You had a whole attitude over there just now.
Just a little one. You know what I'm saying? Just a little one.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Anyway, let's crack back into it. So, welcome to Black Line Live, guys. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in today. You know, every episode we start off with what is it? Wellness check? Isn't that what it's called? Okay, we start off with a wellness check. So let's get that going. How was everybody's weekend?
My weekend was good. It was great. I did a little riding on the motorcycle. A little riding.
A little ride?
Yeah, a little ride on the motorcycle. But it was, I built some confidence.
Okay.
So.
And make sure y'all track her journey on, where you chronicling your journey at?
TikTok.
Yeah, so she has a whole little journey that she's chronicling. So make sure y'all follow that. What else did you do this weekend?
What else did I do this weekend? I honestly don't remember.
That's a good weekend.
Yeah, it's all a blur.
That's a real good weekend.
I don't even remember as far as like Sunday. Yeah.
All right. So for me, what happened this weekend? Went for a little motorcycle ride. Really and honestly just prepared for school. Right. I want y'all to know, as a non-traditional student going back to school and realizing you the oldest dude in the room can be slightly intimidating. We want to come back to that later because I do have a message to end about Gen X. We gotta do better. But other than that, it was all good.
Okay. Miss Terry Mitchell.
Hey, my weekend, it was boring. I was in my room.
That's not what Bout 29 said.
Wow. That shot's fired, bro. Somebody call the ambulance.
No, seriously. I don't know about Bout 29. Y'all making that up. So if y'all listen to this, I don't know. I just made all that up. I have no idea what's going on with Terry over the weekend.
He signed the NDA.
What about you, Royce?
It was fun, you know.
We don't know. That's why we're asking.
Oh. You know, any weekend with Royce is fun. You know, you get out there, get out in nature. You know, put the drone up, guys. Actually, I crashed the drone last week, bro. I'm kind of a little hurt about crashing the drone. You know,
does it still work?
It still works.
You know the drone that's only about a week and a half old. Mm-hmm. That drone.
Yeah. It still work?
It still works.
Oh,
we didn't give it a chance to name the drone yet.
No,
you crashed.
I named it.
You crashed.
What's the drone's name?
Drone 1.
Oh, okay.
That's what
drone
it's
one of.
Yep. Right.
We didn't get a chance to call it Wally or anything. Just
it's more of a ling now, you know.
Does it?
It might be Wally.
Propellers still work?
Yeah, all propellers still work. Everything. Okay. Just have some dinks and nicks, you know. Just breaking a new drone in.
Okay.
Literally breaking it in.
That wasn't fun.
It's okay. We crashed.
Yeah, but not like this.
What'd you crash? What happened?
At the last restaurant
Wally.
Highlight.
We're gonna call it Wally.
Right into a power line. Bro. Yeah, I got the video and everything, right?
That thing came down hard.
You saw it?
No, I seen the drone.
First person I told, you know, kind of scared, you know, but anyways.
Wally. That's the drone's name, Wally.
Kind of like, you know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into that. Let's go get to this EP, man. Let's get the breakdown going. What we got up today, Shan?
Today we have current events by Carrie.
Hey.
Small business highlights. I think Terry's gonna do that.
Why not?
Meet the Brand by Miss Terry again.
Yes.
She is the star of the show.
Period.
We got real estate highlights by none other than myself. We got the TikTok blonde review, and questions and answers.
All right, let's go ahead and crack into it, man. First thing we got on the chopping block is that current events.
So listen, I don't know if y'all remember back a few years ago. I think it's 2018 where the 2 black men got arrested in Starbucks. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. They got arrested for just sitting around in Starbucks, minding their business, waiting on a fellow colleague or whatever happened, right? Y'all remember that, right?
Yep.
Well, they got no charges. And I don't know if they got paid any money, but their manager did. The manager of Starbucks, she went ahead and sued Starbucks for wrongful termination. She had already got awarded $25 million.
25 million?
Yep, 25 million for being fired for everything. Go ahead, throw it up there. All right. She already got awarded 25 million for wrongful termination. So she got rewarded for anything that she would have made then and in the future, to include all benefits.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
That's crazy.
But then a New Jersey judge came back and said, we're going to give you another 2.7 million.
Wow, for lost wages.
For lost wages and all the other good stuff. Listen, she's been banking.
I would like to know the
Scroll
details.
up a little bit, Royce.
Scroll up.
Yeah, because these first 3 paragraphs is everything you need in your life. So it's crazy that the amount of money she's getting paid is a ridiculous sum for wrongful termination. So, yeah. Any questions?
I'm just,
In all?
yeah.
So the moral to this story is work for Starbucks and get fired for the wrong thing.
Okay.
That's so crazy, man.
They made her a whole millionaire. It's crazy.
Right, not a little millionaire either.
Right.
She they made her a double-digit millionaire.
25 minutes, like from Starbucks? Like,
Yeah.
okay, for just getting fired?
So they're saying that she had nothing to do with the whole incident. She wasn't the store manager there. She's like a regional manager, and they fired her over some, hey, you should have trained your people better, and they brought in somebody else. So she's saying, hey, I ain't even had nothing to do with that. Why am I being fired? But hey, listen.
Also, so I'm confused. I read. So Shannon Phillips is the regional manager. Oh, so she won. Okay. I'm reading.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Not the manager who actually called the cop.
No.
Okay. So it says Phillips was ordered to put the manager who also wasn't involved on administrative. I got to read more into this because it's interesting.
Okay, long story short, Starbucks said, hey, this is a high profile case. We got to do something. We got to do it quick. So everybody knows what happened when we started making decisions too fast. We started making the wrong decisions.
Waste.
Right. So they told the regional manager, you need to go ahead and put this person on administrative leave before, all hell breaks loose. Regional manager said, hold on. I'm doing the right thing. Let's look into the facts. This, that, and the third. Starbucks said, you're moving too slow. You're out of here. And they put her on administrative leave, which means you're effectively fired. So for all her benefits and wages, she got that money and then some.
And that makes sense.
It does. Unemployment check. Everything basically send an unemployment check hit.
No, I don't think we worried about the unemployment check. We worried about these 25 mils.
In general, the unemployment
So
check.
I think something to take in consideration was when we look at a regional manager, we're not talking about the regular store manager that's just above minimum wage. We're talking about somebody usually college educated, some kind of MBA in there.
And they're managing multiple.
Right. So I don't know how many stores that they'll be managing, but when you think of it, it could be anywhere upwards. I don't know. I won't throw out a number and be completely wrong, but just think about that regional manager in that position. So that's crazy though. 25 million. I want to know what the salary was, but who are me? Congratulations.
25 million.
25 million?
Congratulations on your suit.
Right.
What?
Now, on the flip side of it, we're going to go into the next one. Go ahead and pull that up, Royce.
Pull that joint up. I got you.
Yeah.
So what is this one talking about?
Did you pull it up?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I messed up my own slideshow. Let's go back here. So what we're talking about here is we're talking about the spam Everybody familiar with Spam? I wanted to tell y'all that this is a delicate treat that my father used to make late in the evenings when he came home from work. It was Spam and rice. Spam and rice. If he got fancy with it.
Did he fry it up?
Yeah, if he got fancy with it with some onions, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's about it. Right. And I always worried about this mystery meat out of a can. But
Mystery meat is crazy.
as you know, Hawaii has been has gone through some things with the fires and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So apparently, if you scroll up, apparently, Spam is a delicacy or is a big deal in Hawaii, right? And they said, you know what? Spam as a company came back and said that they're going to donate 264,000 cans of Spam to the disaster relief in Hawaii. So listen, I want to give it up to big companies that give back to their consumers. So that's over $1 million in product that they're donating to the disaster relief to all the Hawaiians and everybody on the island that's been affected. So let's make sure we give it up make sure we get some clapping for the company, because that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
All right.
My dad always told me that Spam was spiced ham. I don't know.
Listen, I don't know what's in Spam.
A little scary, just like hot dogs. You know.
Is it?
I think no.
I just know it has a long shelf life.
Yeah, like a hot dog.
Sounds nasty.
You ain't never had
It's
your
got to
nice,
be high in sodium.
Of course.
you never had your nice little Spam sandwich, mayonnaise, ketchup, lettuce.
Is it like Vienna sausages?
Nah.
Probably.
Have you ever tried to Never mind.
Go ahead, Royce. Go ahead. Get some.
Griller Vienna sausage?
No.
Ain't never good enough Vienna sausage?
No.
All right. I'll be quiet then.
All
Y'all
right.
ever had potted meat? A little can. You dip it in, eat
No.
crackers? No.
That it look like chitlins. Love it.
No, it doesn't. It's not even the
Potted
same
meat.
consistency.
Oh, okay. Next topic.
So real quick, Royce, I want to scroll to the bottom because there's an interesting fact. It scroll up or down or whatever direction you have to go. So keep going right about there. Up, stop. So it says the Hawaiian community consumes more than 7 million
Wow.
cans of Spam products per year, more than any other state.
Okay.
So I feel like Spam giving back. They know their customer base. They know their clients and consumers. So like I said, shout out to Spam.
Let's definitely put them on the map, man.
All right. So all right. So we're gonna move into the last one. And this one, I like to keep the last one a little bit localized. Anybody heard of the Paradise Ocean Club?
Yep, down at Fort Monroe.
Okay. You heard of it, Royce?
I ain't never heard of that before.
Yeah, me either.
What?
No, I ain't never heard no
Paradise Ocean
Club.
Listen, they get lit down there. Then I don't know if they're open anymore, but go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna talk about it. So, Paradise Ocean Club, the actual owner is, I'm not sure if he's suing or he's definitely making some comments about the landlord, which is the Park Services. And it says discriminatory conduct. He wrote a 13-page letter describing some of the issues that he's having with the state park. So for all those that don't know, Fort Monroe was an old Army base going back years and years and years. Great history, especially if you're a military buff. The base got decommissioned and state park took it over and they use it. You could go in there, walk the beach.
Right.
They have a hotel, this, that, and the third. So we have this gentleman here. He came up, he turned the old officers club into a club, and apparently it the patrons were mostly African Americans.
Yeah, a lot of people would go out there to jet ski, and it was a club. You had to have a membership, and you can take your coolers and your drinks or whatever.
So I've never been. Go ahead, Royce.
No, I was just agreeing.
Okay, so I've never been, but they had a shooting there a couple years ago, right? But that's not the thing, because any establishment, something may or may not happen, right? So there was a shooting there. There was a non-fatal shooting. Few months later, right before it was time to renew the lease or whatever,
Yep.
they came back and said, hey, you can't open back up. So then COVID and all the other good stuff hit, and he's been trying to open the establishment back up since then. But the landlord, the state park, is saying, no, you can't open up. You can't open up. Now, meanwhile, the building is going in disrepair. So now they're telling him, hey, in order to get back in the building, you have to fix the building and fall in line. And he was like, well, I'm not, as a good businessman, any good businessman. What's he saying? He's saying, hey, I don't mind going back in there, but I'm not fixing it at a loss to me.
Right.
I feel like y'all should give me money back off of my lease. Well, they're saying no, kick rock. So he's saying, he's trying to say that it's more of a racial thing, and that he doesn't want to pay to get back in there. So that's where we're at on the discriminatory acts of Paradise Ocean Club.
Okay, so you guys talked about like him getting his building back. Like, how would he do that? Like when it comes to the repairs and stuff?
So he is going through the process. So I guess he's putting his bid forth, this, that, and the third. And they're telling him no, or they're stalling him, if you will, so he could get into the building. So he's trying to negotiate, say, so I didn't know this, that the Ocean Club is only open during the summer months. So his lease is $200,000. So that breaks down to $16,000 a month, but he has to make that in the course of 3 to 4 months. So in the course of 3 or 4 months, he's trying to open up, do all this other stuff to be open for 2024. And they're stonewalling him by telling him he has to do all these other things. So it's just interesting. And this is definitely one of those situations where when you pay attention, especially for those of you that are interested in commercial leases. This is something to watch, to pay attention to see what happens, because it's been my experience when they start slowing down your progress or your movement. What they're doing is they're just waiting for another tenant to come available.
Right. I was actually surprised. I've never been to Paradise Ocean Club, but I know people who frequented the facility. I know people who had memberships, and I would see videos. And I was actually surprised when I read the news that the landlord was not renewing the lease, because it's not like business was slow or anything. And I would imagine that they were making plenty of revenue from Paradise Ocean Club. So it was surprising.
Now, flip side of it, the Ocean Club is coming back, and the landlord is coming back saying, I want to use the exact verbiage, but they're saying that they're using, or they're attracting a certain type of element that they don't want. Now, what that element is, if it's mostly African Americans, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Very interesting. That's interesting.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to small business highlights.
All right, so we're moving on to small business highlights. That's just a crazy thing that's going on out there.
I'm going to follow it because I'm interested in to see the outcome of what's going on. Hopefully he has the opportunity to reopen his business, because, like I said, my understanding is it was a popular spot for a lot of people to go. Families and all of that.
Okay, so getting into small business highlights. Recently, me and Karima had tried Hibachi Express, which is located in Newport News. It was pretty good. This is one of my favorite spots out here. So it was good. They're real professional, very clean establishment, and it was really nice to me, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, I would give them a good 8 out of 10.
What did you have?
I had the teriyaki chicken, and it comes with a whole lot of vegetables like onions, cucumbers, broccoli, mushrooms, all that.
I want y'all to know Terry has the most engaging voice ever.
Really? Okay. And then Karima, I think she had like the steak and the chicken, and hers looked so good with some yum yum sauce. I highly recommend.
What is yum yum sauce?
I think it's like
I'm uncultured, y'all.
Yum yum sauce is just this sauce that a lot of Asian restaurants use on their rice, and I think it's a mixture of mayonnaise, ketchup, and yeah.
I know
But
what you're
it's
talking
so
about.
good. Like it don't look like that. It don't look how it sounds.
First and foremost, you start off with mayonnaise. I'm not a mayonnaise person, so
But you don't taste mayonnaise. Or you don't taste ketchup. It's like, it's a nice blend. Yeah.
I take your word for it.
Yeah. So it was good. Y'all go and try.
And where is it at?
Located in Newport News.
Oh, so they're right up the street.
Yeah, right up the street. I'm not familiar because you guys know I'm not really.
No, I
from
got it.
here.
We got the address up here. Just wanna.
Oh yeah. Okay. So they located on
12971 Jefferson Avenue, Suite 103.
Yeah. So you guys go ahead and check that out.
Oh, you can order online too. They look like scallops and yeah, I'm gonna have to try Hibachi Express.
So, listen. So Virginia is known for something called yuck.
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 Yuck is delicious.
What is
so
that?
actually, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of the influencer Kev on Stage, and he's from like California or whatever, and he's like he has a large following. He came to Virginia and he had yuck, but he went to the wrong spot because the yuck is actually delicious if you get it from the right place. But what it is, it's like I don't know what you call the noodles. They're not spaghetti noodles. It's Chinese noodles and chicken, and then you put boiled eggs.
Lo mein.
Kind of like lo mein,
Okay.
but without like the lo mein sauce because the noodles are white. There's no sauce on them. And then you put chicken and then boiled eggs in it. Some people put soy sauce and ketchup. Other people have other sauces that they put in it, but it's actually really good. It's not called yuck. It's called yak.
And what's in it?
It's chicken, boiled eggs, noodles, and people use various combinations of sauces, but some people do ketchup and soy sauce, which is actually really good.
So salty.
It's not really salty. No, it's not salty.
So I saw a video where somebody was talking about it, right? Mm-hmm. And they served it in a plastic bag, like
a
Ziploc bag.
That's not how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
People come and they make us look bad. They make our yuck look bad. If you get it from
delicatessens.
Yes, delicacies.
Delicacies.
If you get it from the right person or the right establishment, because the Chinese restaurants make it.
So why is it a
tastes good.
Virginia thing?
I don't know.
It's uniquely Virginia.
Yeah, it's actually uniquely Hampton Roads, because going outside of Hampton Roads, you won't be able to find it. But it's good. It's go to find you a good Chinese spot to go to. Actually, I know a girl who makes it, and hers is bomb. So
Okay, I think we should try it as a Black Lion family.
we're gonna order some. Shout out to Andrika Gibson. She makes the yak. She has a big name in Hampton Roads. People buy yak from her, and she has done very well on the sales of yak. So
Okay. Well, y'all, we're gonna get into our next segment, and it's actually Meet the Brands. So, okay, y'all. So we went to this Fit Fab and Finance by Tina Vick. Y'all, tell me y'all experience. What y'all think about the event?
I had a good time. I had a good time. There was some a fitness instructor. There were a couple of vendors there. We had the opportunity to go outside. It was held at the Downing Gross Cultural Arts Center. And if you have never had the opportunity to visit the Downing Gross Center, please, please, please take some time out to go visit it, because it is a beautiful facility that offers cultural art classes such as dancing, ballet, painting. They have spoken word there. Beautiful facility. But we had the opportunity to go outside and walk about a mile around the facility. It was a good time. And we had the opportunity to get out on the floor and do some exercising. You can see me here And then Carrie, I don't know why he was facing the wrong direction, but
Carrie was over it. Carrie has no rhythm, so when they got into that dancing thing, all the ladies were doing their thing, and I was trying to figure out what to do next.
you just follow the instructors.
Yeah, see, they were doing too much. The leg was going one way, body was going the other way. So I stopped playing basketball. When you reach a certain age, you know your limitations. So Superman was walking off.
Okay.
But here in this picture, you see, I was getting it. That was something I could do. I was getting it. So
It was a good time.
and then shout out. So the question was, how was the event? I think it was a great idea, great concept. Tina Vick does a very good job of understanding her community and what's important for her community, especially the community that she serves down 23607 downtown Newport News. I think she does an outstanding job understanding the heartbeat and the pulse of the community. So this is Tina right here in front, and she's as usual up front leading and doing her thing as a councilwoman. But the event itself and the concept of the event, there was 2 parts to it. We missed the second part, but definitely our community definitely needs to be more fit, and we need to understand our finances. I think Fit and Fab just went together.
You forgot the Fabulous.
Right.
Listen, if
No,
you
we
fit,
got
you
that on lock.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's already on lock. That's a given. But I think the being intentional and in certain demographics in certain communities, being intentional about it, I like it because there are food deserts out there, meaning that there's not a lot of good grocery stores, and she's one of the people at the forefront helping bring grocery stores like Piggly Wiggly and things like that downtown Newport News, making sure we're getting green vegetables and access to healthier foods, and then the next part is exercising, getting out there, because a lot of us don't like to exercise when we get to a certain age, or period, or we don't understand the importance of exercise and movement.
Yeah.
So I think altogether that is a great event. And then the finance part, a lot of people think about, I'm just going to get up, go to work, earn some money, and come home, pay these bills. When the next part is, let's start talking about building generational wealth through trust, bank, insurance, different types of financial investments, even start your own business, because chances are what you're doing for somebody else, or what you're working for somebody else, you could create a business doing that same thing.
Absolutely.
And create more income and something that you have to pass on. So it was a great event.
Real quick, just sidebar, the EMT in me wants to know if our DJ is okay, because he had a nosebleed.
Yeah, we gonna go check on him.
Okay.
Right.
I don't want him to pass out or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fine. So we're gonna continue on to the next segment that we have, which is the real estate highlight. Okay. Shan?
So we want to take this time to just do a little bit of education, and what I wanted to discuss is how buyers can maneuver the current market. We still are in a seller's market, and there still is a shortage of inventory. And I know just from experience, some buyers are having difficult times with finding, properties or houses that meet their needs. So I just wanted to discuss various ways that buyers can overcome the shortage of inventory. And so one of those ways is to consider new construction. I know oftentimes buyers, they get into the market and they're looking primarily at resale properties, but there's a lot of money being invested in the new construction sector, which means that there's coming communities of new construction available to buyers. So maybe they should consider purchasing those properties. Another way to overcome is to maybe consider rehabs or distressed properties. Oftentimes buyers want to go into a turnkey property, but if you have the time and the resources to maybe buy a distressed property and rehab it and maybe live in it while you're rehabbing it, that's a good opportunity as well, because oftentimes you can go into that property with equity.
So this is an interesting topic because let's make no mistake, it is harder out there to purchase. People want to blame it on the rates, but it's not just the rates, it's also the shortage of inventory that make it tough.
Things. Absolutely.
Right. So we're reaching the perfect storm of why it's making it difficult for buyers at all levels to purchase. And the people it really impacts though is the lower tax bracket. So how do we maneuver in and out of that problem, which is interest rates, which is the price of houses going up? How do we do that? And I think one of your solutions of going after new construction is sound, but also understanding your budget and go after what you can afford, and understanding that that's just a stepping stone to something else. I've been in a lot of conversations where people are saying, I don't want to buy because my money doesn't go as far. But listen, we don't know what your money's going to do next week or the month after or a couple years from now.
Absolutely.
If you have it in you to gain the asset, because guess who has the asset? Bank. Major investors, they have the money and they're going to buy up your entire block. You're not going to have say so on what's going on.
And a year from now, you may not have the opportunity to purchase those properties like you do now. And like Carrie said, just buy the asset, because what a lot of people don't understand about real estate and wealth is that the majority of families who are wealthy, their wealth is in the equity of their home. And so buying
in the investments of other homes.
Absolutely. But that one home starts that whole process, because you can leverage that one home to get into other properties. So even if it's not your forever home, definitely.
Or a home that you exactly love.
Exactly. Lock it up, move into it, and use that as a stepping stone to get to where you want to
now,
be.
you use the term lock it up. I know what you mean, but can you expound on what you mean by lock
buy
it
it? Buy it, take ownership of it, move into it, make it your own.
Okay. So definitely there are different techniques. So let's say that you are able to get into a property right now. I feel like the best thing to do is leverage that property to earn more income. And how do you leverage a property to earn more income?
There are multiple ways. One, you can, if you can't move out of it, you have an extra room, rent that room out.
Rent the room. Run a business, because
run a business out of
your
it.
Tax implications.
Absolutely. If you can, what I did was I bought a house. I moved out of the house back into my parents' house and rented the house out that I purchased. And so that was additional income coming in. Airbnb it if you have another place to go. Airbnb, I have a friend who Airbnbs two rooms. So there are multiple ways to leverage that property to make additional income.
And for those of you in a place where, so we know Virginia Beach hospitality, so hotels and those sort of things, they don't like Airbnbs. But there are situations where the military, there's a shortage of housing on post. So especially in the Hampton Roads area, so there's an opportunity there where you could say, hey, I'm bringing in military. So not necessarily Airbnb, but you could figure out that short-term rental situation or create a deal with on post housing or the housing office, so they can send you their short-term people that are PCS and their clients.
Yep. And I just wanted to touch briefly on the new construction industry, because so I follow Warren Buffett. He's a brilliant man, millionaire many times over, very very savvy investor. Yeah, billion. Billion.
Don't short that man his dollars.
He's a very savvy investor, and I thought it was interesting, this article that I found. Warren Buffett, for you guys who don't know, he owns Berkshire Hathaway, which is a real estate company. But they are investing, Berkshire Hathaway is investing $814 million in investments in new construction investments across 3 large builders TDR Horton, Lennar, and NVR. And so what I think is that Warren Buffett saw an opportunity because there's a shortage of inventory to create these new construction homes. And my understanding is that there will be new construction homes, affordable new construction communities available to buyers. So just watch the market. They're coming. And whenever Warren Buffett, I'm not saying he's the end all be all and he knows everything, but for your investors out there, I think that when Warren Buffett makes a move, you should watch him. So
Yeah, so there's actually a video of Warren Buffett. The question to Warren Buffett was about if you had to give advice or what would you invest in modern times, what would it be? And he looked the person straight in the eye without a second thought. And he said residential housing. Mm-hmm. If he could do it back all over, he would get into residential housing, and he would buy rehab and do all that stuff and get them back on the market. And he would buy it and hold them, use it for the equity and this, that, and the third. So now it's funny where we're seeing somebody on Warren Buffett's level coming out and he's letting you know, hey, we're building houses because it's a great investment. Mm-hmm. And for those of you that don't know, building a house is, if you are building houses at velocity, mm-hmm. right? Then you have to understand your cost. Your cost is going to be a lot cheaper. So for whatever you sell in the house is almost half of what you're building the house for. So that's a great investment strategy. Shout out to
Warren Buffett. And understand that the shortage in housing, I forgot what the number is, but builders, even with the at the rate that they're building houses now, they still cannot keep up with the demand for houses, which means that from an investment standpoint, again, new construction is a great opportunity.
So what's the bottom line there?
Bottom line, there are a couple bottom lines. One, if you're an investor, get into new construction. Two, if you're a buyer, recheck your budget, consider new construction, consider distressed properties, and hire a savvy real estate agent, such as those at Black Lion Realty.
Hey.
Yes, period.
Okay. Good little real estate highlight. So next thing we about to get into is the TikTok blind review.
So who's picking?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Number 1 through 5.
Between you and Shan.
I got it. Go.
Rock, paper.
He not gonna play.
Oh, I think yes. Rock, paper.
I already got my paper out.
No, you gotta. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. You won.
Well, I defer
to
you.
Let's go with this one, the white one.
All right.
You got salmon bites.
Makes sense. Okay. All right. Let's get cracking into that real quick.
I just thought that was funny. I think that one is coming from more of an agent standpoint, with the client asking if they can look at a house at 7:00 on a Friday. A lazy agent that don't want to make money.
It's not gonna take it.
So there's two ways to look at that, right? So you do have the lazy agent that wasn't making any money. You have the new agent, and then you have some agents just think they're too good. Mm-hmm. But then you also have to think about, you have to control your time as an agent.
True. Very true.
Right? So you have to set standards
and
boundaries, right? I think that's the going theme of the week, is setting boundaries. Because if the client calls you at 6:59 saying, hey, can we look at the house? Hey, nah, you got to do better.
Right.
And you have to control your time. Because in this situation, we don't know.
Yeah, they hashtag work life balance.
So in this situation, we don't know the needs of the client, because if the client is working a particular job or whatever their schedule is that won't allow them to get there 6-7 o'clock, I feel like it comes down to the agent and the client. And this is agent understanding the client, because you don't want your client missing out because whatever reason you took that client on, you took that responsibility on, so you should be able to make those concessions for your for said client. That is when you set the expectations up front. Right. Expectations have to be, let me say this, expectations have to be set and expectations have to be met. If you told, because there's a lot of agents that set themselves up, hey, I'm here for you, I'm going to do whatever it takes, da da da. So that means at 7, 8, 9 o'clock, you need to get up. Right? Now, conversely, hey, this is how I work, this is how I do things, and you set those standards in place, you shouldn't have a problem.
Absolutely. I know one agent who says that she's very, she manages her clients' expectations, but she's very purposeful in helping buyers. She says that we go out to look at 4 houses. I have a 4-house limit. After 4 houses, I'm not showing them any more houses. What she does, she listens to the client to determine what it is that they're looking for. She goes through whatever MLS she's in to find houses that meet the client's needs. And after those 4 houses, we're not going at 7 o'clock on a Friday to look, because I've shown you and you couldn't make up your mind. So,
I mean, just to bring that point home, I think that's fair. Because if I sit down with you as my client, you tell me everything you need. And because I think the part that you missed, because I remember you telling me this, if I sit down with you, you tell me your expectations, we work on your expectations, and I take you to 4 houses that meet your expectations. You said that they meet your expectations. We agreed that it meet your expectations, because before we went out there, we spoke about the expectations. You saw the house, it met your expectations. Now, after house 4, I think it'll be a good practice to sit down and say, hey, let's come back, and this is the part I think you missed. Let's sit down and re-engage what your expectations were. I showed you 4. I'm not firing you as my client. I need to understand what else did we miss, because it might be something else that wasn't brought up. I need a 3rd garage, or I just now realized something about my expectations. So sitting down and having that conversation again, I think it's a good practice, instead of keep showing them going out there, house after house. By the time you get to house 20, both of you are burnt out, and neither one of you really know what you're looking for at that point.
Exactly. I agree.
So I feel like that's a good way to set expectations.
So you feel like that's more of being.
Hey, I want y'all to know Royce is back, y'all. We was worried about Royce.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah. I was trying to little nosebleed or something. I don't know where it came from, but I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, being around all this excellence, I could understand being that high up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The altitude changes. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Little bar. No, man, but so you basically saying that TikTok was more like being a structured agent or more a lazy agent?
I don't want to say lazy. I think it depends on the situation that was going on. I can see some agents saying, hey, you can't call me at 6:30, want to see a house at 7. That's unfair to the agent. That's unfair to the listing. That's unfair to the sellers, because they're there, they're building a life, and you have a schedule. But I do think it speaks to mindset. If that video really resonated with a particular agent, I think that agent should question their business, because if you didn't manage those expectations early, there's something that you need to re-engage with your business.
Yeah.
Okay. Little TikTok blind review. So if we had to rate that TikTok on a scale from 1 to 10, and why? How good was it from? So like I'll say, setup, understanding, and what's the word? Factual, right? On a factual level.
I would give it like a 4, just because there were a lot of unanswered. Like, why? What was the situation? What was the conversation? What was going on with this client? And I mean, as far as setup, it was simple setup. So I give it a 4.
Yeah, I give it a 3. So I purposely, especially in Black Lion, I wouldn't make fun or poke at potential clients or potential clients. So we're always very careful with the stories we tell in here and who we make light of. I'm not going to make fun or I'm not going to isolate my potential clients. And I think whoever put that up there, if they're an agent, they should really watch how they're putting that message out there.
Because
That's
somebody
true.
might be thinking about using them as a client, but then they're like, I don't know, because they might poke fun at me.
Or they might not want to work with me if I have
Right.
special circumstances.
Yeah.
So I kind of cringe at putting that message out there. If it was meant for realtors or real estate agents, I still cringe because, like Shan said, it's not enough information. Now, if somebody called them again, 6:45, wanting to see a house at 7 o'clock, 30, 45 minutes away, that's an unrealistic expectation.
Right.
But without the context, I don't know. So that's why I give it a 3. It's cringeworthy.
And I watched a TikTok video the other day about it's a social media manager who helps real estate agents, and she says to consider who your audience is, and if your purpose on TikTok is to market to potential buyers, potential sellers, potential clients, that TikTok was for other agents because only other agents understand the joke behind that. So this agent, based upon this video, doesn't understand that their audience. At least I can assume that.
Now, there are certain things that happen to all agents. Like this, believe it or not, this is normal.
Yeah.
This is something that I remember when Shan got her first got her license. She had a particular client that was calling her 11 o'clock at night, wanting to see houses. And she was working it, but that's because she was hungry and she didn't set the expectation. So this is normal, right? But again, we keep saying this and we're overstating it about setting expectation with your clients, because that client ended up not purchasing and was a looky-loo and end up not purchasing, end up getting a horrible deal with another agent, and all the work that you put in, they didn't, I don't feel like they respected it. So this is a real thing, but I wouldn't make fun of it. I think this agent probably needed a little bit more training on managing expectations.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That was
Dropping
cool.
some
That
gems.
was cool. That was cool. All right, now we're finna get into that Q&A. So
Yes, we got a few questions on the live.
All right.
So one person asks, should I sell my current property before buying a new one?
Oh, that's a good question. You want to go first?
Sure. It just depends on your situation. You don't. I'll start with, you don't necessarily have to sell your property in order to purchase. If you're the type of person who wants passive income, you can always rent that property out. Rent your current property out before you purchase a new property. If you are in a situation where you're strapped for cash, you may want to consider selling your property if you have equity in it. If you can sell it and make money and use that money as a down payment for the new property, then sure. It just depends on your situation.
Yeah, I think that's a more personal question. It comes down to, are you looking for cash flow? What are you trying to do with the money? What's your end state? How are you using this property? What was the mindset going in and what you're trying to get out of it? Because I feel like there are different tiers. One tier is sustainability, which means you have that passive income always coming in. Now, if you're an investor and you're flipping houses or you're turning houses over at a certain rate, that's your sustainability. But if you're like the average person that's buying houses and holding on to them for sustainability, then you hold that property, especially if you could purchase the other property without leveraging that first one. I feel like it's a good idea. But again, that's a conversation for us to sit down and talk about.
Okay.
Okay. So another question is, how does earnest money work?
So the earnest money, or we call it EMD, earnest money deposit, it is a good faith deposit for buyers that go into a real estate transaction, and essentially is a deposit that says that you have skin in the game. So in the Virginia real estate contract, there are certain timelines written in the contract that allow you to terminate a contract under certain circumstances. And with the earnest money deposit, if you terminate a contract outside of those circumstances written into the contract, you could potentially lose the EMD. So the EMD is just an understanding that, hey, if I breach this contract, I lose the money that I put down as a deposit.
Yeah, backside of that is that money is used at your discretion.
Mm-hmm.
So that money doesn't go to the seller unless there's some type of breach.
Yeah.
So that money can be used for closing costs. That money can be used for repairs. And a lot of times they'll tell you that money comes back to you at closing if it's not used.
Okay. So the last question will be, what is a mortgage and how does it work? That's what somebody asked.
Ooh, okay. You gave me the look. All right. So a mortgage, consider your mortgage a debt service. It's the debt service securing the property with the bank. So you sign a promissory note when you're at closing. You sign a promissory note saying that you promise to pay whatever bank off, local bank 123. You promise to pay them off at a certain amount of time. So your mortgage is basically the quote unquote debt service, or what you have to pay back in the promissory note to whatever financial institution that you borrowed the money from.
Okay.
Now it gets a little bit deeper than that, with the rate. So the basics of what a mortgage is your debt service to the bank or your financial institution.
And your mortgage includes PITI, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
Yes.
So you'll be paying your homeowner's insurance, your taxes, principal, and interest on that loan.
Okay. And the last question for
the
real?
last question. Listen, y'all can keep it. I this is the part I actually enjoy, is the question part. Make us quick on our
What
feet.
sets Black Lion apart from other agents?
Come on, man, y'all bugging. Y'all listen. Our mere presence in the industry sets us apart.
Okay.
Listen, so Shan's over here smiling because she can't wait for this, right? Listen, what makes us different is we're not here for the paycheck. Do we get paid for what we do? Absolutely. But we're first and foremost here for our community, the military community, low income community. You notice that we're not big on like, yo, look at these luxury houses, this, that, and the third, because that's not our brand. That's not what we're here for. We are here for the underdogs. We're here to educate and help. And you hear me brag more and more about the deals that we turn down or the transactions that we don't do because we're able to help somebody that didn't know. We're able to help somebody get out of a financial problem. We're able to show somebody how to leverage their property to gain wealth. We are very intentional about that. So what makes us different? Come on, man. We're in the game. That's what makes us different.
Hey, man,
Listen, I'm going to tell y'all, man, Black Lion is a danger to most of these other companies out here. And the reason why we're a danger is because we move different. We don't even look at the same goals. We don't look at 25 million, 30 million, or whatever the case is, 46 million. We don't look at that as the bottom line. We look at how many people we were able to help as the bottom line. So, and it's not just about the buying and selling properties. Guess what? If you're an agent and you come to Black Lion, we teach you the game. We teach you how to secure your money. We teach you the back end of this whole brokerage thing, because a lot of people go into this thing saying, hey, I want to be an agent and make money. They not realizing a lot of agents don't realize the actual business of real estate. And while they're out there buying, selling, and helping people buy and sell, hey, congratulations. But there's a lot of other people earning money off of your hard work, and you're giving up a lot of money. We teach you that here. The goal here is for you to take whatever you learn here at Black Lion, and hopefully you go out there and start your own, but at least you understand how the business of real estate works. So you could come into Shan's office, my office. You could come talk to Jordan, Gary. There's not a person here that's going to be like, nah, I'm not going to tell you, and we're not gatekeeping. So Roy, listen, I could go on another 10 minutes, but why are we different? Because we're dangerous.
And it's the education. It's the education aspect that sets us apart. For most agents, it's just about selling a house and getting a check. For me, being under Black Lion, and I know a lot of our agents, it's about educating our clients. On the buyer side, it not only educating the clients on how the transaction works, but also once you get into that house, how to keep your house, how to stay out of foreclosure, and what owning that house means and does for you as a homeowner. And on the seller side, educating the client on, maybe it's not in your best interest to sell right now. Maybe you want to hold on to the property. You have a low rate, hold on to it, get a little cash flow, So it's about education, because just because somebody comes to you and says, I want to buy a house or I want to sell a house, it may not be in that person's best interest to move forward, with that transaction at the moment. And so it's about the education piece too, that sets us apart.
Okay.
And man, we dangerous out here in the streets. We didn't call ourselves soft kittens. We, you know what I'm saying? We ain't come up with some weird name. Like Black Lion means something and it resonates. Absolutely. So we're dangerous up, man. Listen, once it catches on, we're dangerous out here.
Hey, man. And on that note, that's the lie.
Well, no, hold on. There is a message that I wanted to drop before we get out of here. So I was amongst what generation are you in?
Gen X.
No, I'm Gen X.
No, you're not. You're Gen X?
Yeah, I'm Gen X.
So there's
Gen Z.
YZ.
Gen Z.
Right. So I was hanging out with a whole bunch of Gen Zs yesterday, and I was sitting there. It was about 30 of them. Right, I was in class. Right, so it's about 30 of them, and the Gen X that was in charge made a comment that all of us can't be millionaires. And I feel like at that moment, there's somebody in that class that probably believed that, and they lowered their expectations. Right? We're in a capitalist society. Mr. John Smith made sure that everybody could be a millionaire, right? John Smith, he's the father of capitalism.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Pocahontas.
No.
Whoa.
I'm like, what?
So understand this, right? If you're listening to this and you're Gen X, listen, we got to do better. We had it tough, and we call ourselves the toughest generation and the F around and find out generation, right? That said, make sure we're giving back to the youngsters, the Ys and the Zs, and let them know that it's fully possible for them to be millionaires. It's fully possible for them to be the greatest out there, the greatest version of themselves. Don't sit back and say what they can't do because somebody did that to us and it didn't turn out right because we bought our fist out and knocked it clean out, right? A lot of us is Gen X's drinking from the water hose. Like, we brag about this stuff, riding bikes with no helmets. We did the impossible. Now we're going to tell people behind us what is possible. That's crazy.
Right.
So if you're a Gen Xer, just do better, man. Just come out there, encourage, because these Ys and Zs, these are our kids, right? And do you want to tell your kid that what is possible? Let them reach for what's impossible. Let them get it. So with that being said, Gen X's do better. Gen Y, I got you.
That's some knowledge, man. You know your top, man.
Okay.
That's some good little knowledge, man.
Little
clap up, man. Little clap up. Well, guys, it was a good episode. A little rough.
Yes,
little
y'all
jagged.
dropped some gems though, for sure.
Yeah, definitely some gem droppers, man. But anyways, let's give kudos to everybody coming out. Let's give it up to Carrie Ferdinand, Miss Shannon Epps.
You wrong last name, sir.
I mean Ferdinand. It's up there. I don't know why I said Epps. Because I saw it. I don't know. We did Miss Creamer Benjamin today. Hopefully she come back in. Get up for Terry Mitchell.
Karima.
And let's get up for them boys at 212 Media for putting on.
Facts.
And then Carrie, where can they find us at?
Well, hold on. You forgot one other person.
Who?
Mr. Leon Noir.
Oh, hold
Dead
on. Forgot the man Leon
Do we
Noir.
have a lion's roar for a sound?
We have it, but you need to
we can
load
make
that because
one
that needs to be up here for my
We
man
gonna put him on.
Leon.
We gonna put him on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We get him a whole camera by itself.
All right. So where can you find us at? You can find us at 13176 Jefferson Avenue in Newport News in the great state of Virginia for lovers.
2 up, 2 down.
2 up, 2 down. You can also find us on. You can find this on YouTube at Black Lion Live. You could also find it on whatever your streaming service is on Black Lion Live again. And I feel like I'm missing Instagram and all the other stuff. It's all still.
Yep, Black_Lion_Realty on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Now listen, there's 2 black lions, but there's only one real black lion. That's the one in Newport News, Virginia. The other one, listen, shout out to him. Shout out to him, but when you're looking for us, it's the one with the actual black lion, not call themselves Black Lion with a white lion. It's the one with the actual black lion.
Orange?
Shade.
No, it's not shade. It's real. I mean, listen, shout out to him, but Leon Noir, our mascot.
And I just want to give a shout out to Terry and Royce. You know, we had some hiccups, but Terry hopped right in.
Hey, Terry got to it, man.
She kept it going. So
Terry got to it, man.
appreciate that.
Terry hopped in the driver's seat.
She did. She
Listen,
did.
took it
She
over.
did
It
that.
was obvious she didn't know what she was doing, but she was pressing
Look, and
buttons
she
to
was
make
ordering
sense.
too. Like, we about to go back. We about to get into the real estate highlights. Like, keep it rolling.
Hey, as long as she ain't pressing 2 red buttons up there, that's the top recording.
Listen,
I'm not mad at it.
She was pressing buttons and she was figuring it out. She looked like
she got it.
y'all ever see those action movies where somebody jump in a helicopter? They be like, "Yo, you know how to fly this thing?" And they start hitting buttons. So she got active with it. And listen, that's another part where I talk about just nurturing our youth because Terry's 24, Royce is 18.
Dang, I'm really 23. Keep aging me.
And I'm really 19.
Okay. Listen, I remember them when they were so young. Just yesterday.
I was just a little baby.
It was just like yesterday, but no. They are the producers, the executors. They are everything to this show. So without them and without Karima and the younger ones, we wouldn't be sitting here in front of you.
Absolutely.
So
Shout out Cam.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Shout out baby
to
Cam. Anyway.
yeah, my man Cam. Shout out Cam. Wherever you at, Cam,
Right.
the hustler, the smuggler, my man. Y'all, listen, that's another joke for another time.
You know what I'm saying? He putting up. But anyways.
Wrap that shit up, B.
My fault. Trying to drag it out to an hour. Anyways. If all hearts and minds are clear, that is
You
the
said it
end.
right this time. Hearts and mind clear.
Yeah. If all hearts and minds are clear, that's a wrap. From
That's a wrap.
Carrie Ferdinand, Shan Ferdinand, Terry Mitchell. Where's Chris?
All right.
Tune in
I
next
thought he was
week.
gonna skip his last
Me
name.
too.
Holla.
Despite the rumors you know, is the perfect time to buy.